I'm like a minute or two late over here because it was one of those Wednesdays where our sit and stitch was right before this, and I'm always, you know me, I'm always a minute or two late on the Wednesdays where we have the sit and stitch from the sit and stitch that ends right before this one does. And I have definitely had a little bit of a hair mishap. Oh well, y'all still like me even with my hair mishap, right? um, they changed StreamYard a little bit. There we go. I had to find all the right buttons. So I feel like my camera's much farther away than usual. Maybe it's just a little taller. Yeah, I think I just have it up a little high. There we go. Better. So I'm going to give people a couple minutes to come on. I know some people were just on Zoom with us for the sit and stitch. So I want to give people a moment to pop on over from there. And then today we are going to go through the January issue. Hello, Monique. So I just spent 2 hours chatting away on the sit and stitch. Here, why don't I give you all the link since I was just talking about the sit and stitches. I'm going to go ahead and find my mouse. Here we go. And toss up the link for where you can find the times of the sit and stitches, because they run, if you just go to crochetfoundry.com, they're in the main menu, in the navigation menu. So if you're on the computer, it's across the top. If you're on a mobile device, there's the hamburger menu, which is those three lines. If you click on that, it brings down the navigation bar. One of them says community, and under community, there's a link for sit and stitch. And then here is just the direct link that'll take you right there. And I'm going to toss it into Instagram since I can do that. And I believe I saw Monique was on YouTube. So Monique, if you could toss it into YouTube, awesome. That would be awesome. Thank you. And this is where you can go to find the times of the sit and stitches, because we have a reoccurring time for the first Wednesday of the month, the second Wednesday, the third Wednesday, the fourth Wednesday, and when there's a fifth Wednesday, there's even a time for that. We alter what time those 2-hour-long Zoom sit and stitches are. It just rotates through them every month. That way, hopefully, oh, Monique can't put the comment up there. Oh, well, life goes on. It's showing on the screen. So, and like I said, if you just go to crochetfoundry.com, you can find it really easily. There's also on crochetfoundry.com, there's that little magnifying glass. You can click on that and it gives you a little space to type something in the search bar. And if you type in sit and stitch and just put an and sign, ampersand, that works. Oh, that's right. You can't put links in YouTube. I knew that. I totally knew that. But anyway, that is how you find out when the upcoming sit and stitches are. They happen every single, yes, you can, Sarah, if you want to put it on the Facebook one, you can. I already put it up on the YouTube one. They happen every Wednesday that I am available, which is nearly every Wednesday. So we love having people there. We had a really nice time this morning. We had a fun time changing temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius, trying to figure out what their temperature was everywhere everybody was. And we talked a little bit about leg warmers and even about some of the upcoming colors, and just chatting and having fun and getting to know each other. And my mom was even there at the sit and stitch this morning, which was super cool. Here, let me go back, and we have lots of comments. So we have Monique saying hi. This is Sarah saying hi, and Monique and Sarah saying hi to each other. Let's see. Can't put links on YouTube. Everybody's saying hi to each other. All right. So we've got a lot of everybody saying hi. Oh, it doesn't say that we're live on Facebook. Did I click the wrong Facebook? Let's see. No, we should be live. My thing is saying I'm live. It's on the Facebook page, not on the Facebook group. According to StreamYard, we are live in all three places, Sarah. So I don't know if maybe you checked on the wrong one there or not. But hopefully we are live on that one. If StreamYard says that we are. So today what we are going to do is we're going to look through the magazine, the January issue, and we are going to, well, that's the main thing that we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just open that up real quick. I opened up almost everything I needed, and I forgot to open up the magazine by itself, so let me do that. And then we will take a look through everything. And let's see, that's just the cover. Here is the magazine. So there's some really fun new stuff happening in January that we added in. And we're going to first pop over here. So I'm going to now share my screen, present. I know I'm normally have much more of this actually ready for you guys. It's just when we have the sit and stitch from 10 to 12 right before this, I always get a little not quite ready. I always think I'm going to stop like 10-15 minutes before noon, and then it's like suddenly it's like noon and we're still chatting away because, you know, I just enjoy the sit and stitches and talking to everybody so much. We all have fun together. So this is the Crochet Foundry website. Okay, just so that you can see where to get everything since it's the beginning of the new month. If you want to grab the January issue, you can click on magazine and click on current issue. Of course, when you're on the Crochet Foundry website, we have the banner right here, which will also take you to the January issue, to the most current issue. There's current issue, here's past issues, bundles and collections. So if you go to current issue, you can see the January issue. Now, I can buy this magazine for $0 because I happen to be logged in and I'm a member. If you are not logged in, log out. Okay, so if you're not logged in, if you're not a Crochet Foundry member, you'll see that there's no price and you can't check out. So the reason why is because the current issue is only available as a standalone issue for people who are members of Crochet Foundry. So you can get yourself your Crochet Foundry membership. Here's the monthly membership or the annual membership. You get 2 months free if you buy it by the year, if you pay by the year. But I know not everybody, it's not in everybody's budget to pay for the full year. So we also have the monthly one. And along with the membership, you get access to some of the members only areas and some extras, various extras throughout the year. So the other way to get you can get the January issue as a standalone issue. If you are a Crochet Foundry member, it's included as part of your membership. You saw a moment ago where I could have just bought it for free. And that's what you do if you're a member. The other way you can grab it if you're not a member is you can go over to the bundles and collections. It was also linked here. I'll show you where it was linked. Down here it says the January 2025 edition is also available as part of the winter 24-25 bundle here. So you can go to the bundles and buy the current bundle. And you can see this has December. Oh, I forgot to change. Nope, I forgot to change the pictures on this one. It has December, it has January, and when the February issue comes out, you will get that as well. So you could buy it now. You'll get the December and January issue now. And then when the February issue comes out, you'll get another email saying that you have a new download available. And so you'll get all 3 issues and you get them whatever's already published the moment you buy it. And then anything that's not published, you get as soon as it is published. So you can get the current issue right away that way. And that's how you get that. And then I'll show you real quickly where you can find those sit and stitches that we do every Wednesday. We have a lot of fun there. It's just like-minded people with the same passion for yarn and crochet and knit, just getting together and having a nice little social time together. We crochet, we chat, we answer questions, we get whatever people are feeling like. But if you have a crochet question, please make sure to let us know, and we'll, if we're just chatting away and being social, we will stop the social to do the to answer your question, and then we'll continue with the social. It's 2 hours long. There's plenty of time for everything. Okay. So now let's take a look at that January issue. Here it is. All right, so I'm going to move this. I think if I do 55, it basically will do maybe a little bigger than that. We'll try 65. Get the whole issue on the whole, what is that? Uh, the whole image. There we go. 80, 90, 80. There we go. All right. So January 25. Our theme is color blocks and a pop of neon. And you'll notice we have some new models. So this is our new model, Frances. She is awesome. And let's see, we'll go through. And this is our other new model, Crystal. And I have a few more coming for the next season as well. So we have contents, the intro, the meet the designers. Behind the collection, Joanne designed 2 patterns for us this month, and she always gives us these fun little sketches that she does. These are swatches that she made. And I love whenever Joanne sends in a proposal, she always has a make this because, and she'll give you reasons why you should make it. And I love them. So I thought it was, since she had 2 patterns in this issue, it seemed like a really fun thing to use for our behind the collection for this issue. From Jessie, and you'll see that January 4th, the other day, was World Braille Day. So our giving theme, for those of you who like to be able to donate, contribute to various things, our giving theme for January is visually impaired. So art for and or by the visually impaired. We spotlighted 2 organizations. One is the Braille Institute, and they have a specific section of their site for visual arts and accessibility. And then the other is the Envision Arts Gallery and Community Engagement. Bleh. Let me try that again. Envision Arts Gallery and Community Engagement Center. And while they have a space, in-person space, they also have a lot of online education and resources. So even if you aren't local to them, there's that. So that is great. You can donate to them, or you can also, they have wonderful resources if you are in need of the resources, or know somebody who might be in need of the resources, or if you are an artist and are interested in making sure your art is a little bit more accessible for the visually impaired. All right, so then we have our yarn artist interview, that we always have a yarn artist interview. And this was Carol McDonald, who I met at Vogue Knitting Live last year, the Vogue Knitting Live in New York City. And she'll be at the Vogue Knitting Live in New York City this year, which is not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. So I'm excited to see her again, because she is not only an awesome artist, but she was a really cool lady too. I very much enjoyed meeting her last year. So she has some really cool art that has to do with, she does mainly knit with her art. We have Using Color with Confidence is one of our articles. And because you may have noticed that sometimes, well, Joanne writes an article for us every month. I know it's a lot of Joanne this month. Joanne writes an article for us every month, and Joanne lives in the London area. Can't remember if she lives in London or just right near London. I'm having brain fry right now. So because we hire people, we have our contractors and everything from all over the world. My thought is, whatever the spelling is, wherever you're from is where you're from. So when Joanne writes us an article, we have English spelling, where there is a U in color. And if I write an article, it has American spelling, which does not have the U in color. And we just go with it, right? So Joanne has a lovely article here about how to use color with confidence, which is just perfect for our theme. This next article is super fun. It's the winner of the Stitch Factor competition, Ariana Garcia. And so we did a little interview with her, and she shared some of her photos from the competition, from her pieces. which was super cool. I wish I could have been there, but it was just not something I could pull off. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, so here, oh, let me see. We have a couple comments. Let's see. Oh, Monique says she really enjoys the sit and stitches. The community is amazing, and that is the whole point. Is I just want it to be something that people enjoy. You can get your questions answered, but you can also have that kind of that nice little social time where you're at ease and you're having a good time, and it improves your mood, it helps with your mental health, it helps with you. It's just about enjoying time with other people who have the same kind of passion as you. Having, we really have developed friendships through this. My mom, like I said, my mom came this time, and when my mom came out, I was like, Mom, meet my friends. I'm 48. My mom comes out. I'm like, Mom, meet my friends, meet my friends. And I really do, like, I've developed friendships with the people who come all the time, and it's lovely. And they've all developed friendships with each other. And when we get somebody new, then we just get a new friend, and we love it. It's a very welcoming, warm place. And the colors and patterns, yes, and new models. I love new models. Let's see. For those who add alt text to their images for the sentence period, yes, you learn that you just should always end the description with a period to signal to the reader that the description has ended. Very good. Thank you, Sarah. I did not know. Like, I do it just because because it's, I like to have my proper punctuation in there. Um, but I did not realize that makes perfect sense, though. The screen reader knows that the description is ended because there's a period there. Totally makes sense. Thank you, Sarah. Very good to know. And yes, the Ariana's patterns are just gorgeous. Look at this. Lovely, right? So we have the whole interview with Ariana, and these lovely, lovely patterns, beautiful colors. All right. And here we go. Here's a few more of them. And then we have this tutorial, how to crochet evenly along an edge. So this talks about, sometimes your pattern says crochet 75 stitches evenly. Like this one says, how do you put 75 stitches in 107 rows on the side of the blanket? Right? You've crocheted 107 rows, and it says now put 75 stitches, or maybe the other way around, or whatever. How do you do that? So this tutorial helps you figure that out. Okay, and I talk about the math, I talk about how to do it all, and then at the end I give you the pattern for the little L that I happen to use in the tutorial. You can take this information and you can use it for any size or shape or whatever that you want, but in case you wanted to follow along with the tutorial and do it exactly like I did, to really, if that's your learning style, I went ahead and I gave you the pattern for this little L shape that I used in the tutorial to help you out. And then here is a little printable. If you're a Crochet Foundry member, then you can go to the link. It's in here somewhere. That will you'll get this. The article is in the membership area of Crochet Foundry, and there's a link for where you can just pull this up as a printable and just print it out. Of course, you can always, this is page 26, just print page 26 of the magazine. And this is just a little, it'll help you with your math if you're trying to figure out what stitches to put, where to put your stitches. And this all makes sense if you read the article. And now we get into our patterns. And this is our model Kai, or Kaya, who is the child of one of my friends. So, though they are a adult child of one of my friends, but if you're a parent, you understand that your children are always your children. It doesn't matter how old they are. So this is the Right Angle Shawl by Jess Bennett, and I'm just going to scroll quickly through the patterns, and then I'll show you more images of all of the patterns. Okay, this is one of the bonuses that I wanted to show you guys. Do you see this? This is a color me in image. This is a color planning image. So our illustrator, Kyla, has started with the January issue, and with every single issue from January on, there will be a coloring book style sketch of each pattern that you can use for color planning. So that way, I just think that's a really, really useful item to have, is the color planning image. And since we have an illustrator who's awesome, why not, right? So we have a little bonus tutorial here from Jess. And then here are some fun leg warmers. These are mine. Those are my legs. That is no longer my couch. I got a new couch. So these are the We've Got the Beat leg warmers. And again, here's an illustration. You'll notice that the leg warmers, I have them opposite. One is yellow with pink stripes, the other is pink with yellow stripes, and that is because it's fun that way. It also means that you can make them with just one skein of each color. If you wanted them both to be yellow with pink stripes, or them both to be pink with yellow stripes, whatever the main color was, you'd need to have two skeins of it based on the size of the Hobie Silly Socks Disco yarn. Obviously, if you have a different yarn with a different amount of yardage in it, that would change things over. Monique is super excited about the leg warmers and is making some neon leg warmers for herself. I know she's going to make them in neon because that was one of the things she said earlier she was super excited about when we were on the sit and stitch. So, yeah, and these are actually, they're made with a fingering weight yarn. So it's a thin yarn, but it's a fun pattern. It's really easy to make. The bonus tutorial for this is how to crochet elastic into ribbing. So you can see this skirt was from our November issue. This is the top of a skirt from our November issue. And I actually did the ribbing, the elastic, I mean, from about here around to about here. So there's no elastic at the very front. It just goes around the side and the back because that way, you know, sometimes when you have a skirt or a pair of pants or whatever, you know, your backside is rounded. Your back is not, but your booty is. And so sometimes it kind of pops out, like it gives that gap between your back and the back of your skirt or pants. And so sometimes when you have a crochet or knit ribbing, it doesn't quite pull in as much as you would like. And so that is when using this technique is a really good way to tighten things up and to make it so that it actually rounds over your backside, rounds over your booty and right up to your back. So this is just a quick little tutorial that shows you how to do that. And I did it on the top of the ribbing for the leggings. I didn't do leg warmers. I didn't do it on the bottom, but I did it on the top of the ribbing for the leg warmers. It obviously this works on crochet ribbing. The leg warmers are done with the single crochet worked in the back loop only, side to side, whereas the skirt is done in post stitches, front post, back post, front post, back post. That's two different kinds of ribbing that I've done this in. It worked great. I've also done it in knit ribbing as well. It's just a wonderful little technique. You just use that elastic thread that you can get in like a sewing, like the sewing area of the store, or just type in elastic thread. It's usually like on a little spool. Actually, the one that I used in this skirt, I couldn't find my regular elastic thread, so I went into like my little floral supplies. And this is this green. The reason it's not green is because it's actually from the floral department. It's a floral supply elastic thread. It's less expensive in the sewing area, but I couldn't find my sewing elastic thread, and I found that one, and I didn't feel like going to the store to buy something else, so I just used the green, and it totally worked. So this is one of the two patterns from Joanne. It is the Sand Timer tunic, and I love it. It was inspired, she tells us how it was inspired by the thought of like a poncho that you can just like toss on before you go out of the house as an additional layer to keep warm. And so that's kind of what inspired this. So it has like the nice big flowy sleeves, but then it has a center section that's almost like if you tied a belt around your poncho, and then it's got the poncho waist on it. It's gorgeous. It looks good on, you know, on any size. Make sure you make the size that works on your size. It's made for your size. This is one of our new models, Crystal. And Crystal works from home. She has her own little nail studio in her house. So you can see she always has really pretty nails. So Let's see, we have, if we go down here to, there we go. Here's your little color planning, your little color planning sketch. And there is a bonus tutorial for this one about how to do swatching on the round, which is always nice. Here is our second pattern from Joanne. It is the whirl skirt, which is made to be layers as well. Love this. This is great if you're like going out in the winter. You get yourself a nice warm pair of tights. I don't know about you guys. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Sarah says she needs leg warmers. It's actually chilly in Texas. Hey, I love leg warmers. I don't know where you guys get your tights. I am not a small size. So I like to order my tights from Snag, S-N-A-G, snag.com. They have really great high quality tights that like, and they have the little size chart. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. I just love them. And so I'm giving you all a piece of useful information that I find useful on a product that I like, which I love getting my tights from Snag. And these tights also came from Snag. So snag.com is a great place to buy really fun tights. And we have some really fun tights in this house, and we get them from snag.com. Super cool. So yeah, this skirt works great with a pair of tights over a pair of leggings. You could do like a nice little cat suit with the skirt over it. You could even use this as, in the summer, you could make this for a beach cover up. I wouldn't use, this is made with an Angora yarn. I wouldn't use a fuzzy yarn if you were making it for a beach cover up. I'd maybe use, you know, something, I'd use like a cotton or something that doesn't have the fuzz to it, because then if it gets wet, it's sticky, and yeah, you don't want that. But for a beach cover up, this is would be a really cute beach cover up pattern in the summer with a different yarn. But it's an awesome little winter dress with this kind of fuzzy yarn that kind of gives that warmth feel to it. Super, super cute. And here we have the color planning sketch. And I love the tip that Joanne included with this. It's how to make a little maintenance kit to give along with a gift. And now we have from Jess Bennett. I think this issue is, are all the designers in this issue, do all of the names, I think all of the names of the designers in this issue start with a J. Oh no, Natalia did one design in this issue. Natalia is the only one whose name does not start with a J, so I guess this issue was not brought to you by the letter J, it was brought to you by neons. So this is the electric shock sweater being worn once again by Frances. Who is just super fun. Both of my new models, Frances and Crystal, are just so much fun. And this is a local park by our house where I love being able to do photographs at this local park. It's just beautiful. So here we have this fun sweater. This is Katie, another one of our previous models, Katie Temple. You guys might know Katie's mom is Mary Beth Temple, who is an amazing crochet designer. He's been around for a little while. And here is, again, your color planning sketch for this one. Depending on what size you make, the number of squares that you have may vary, but this will still help you out with color planning. And we have a mocha chai breakfast bowl is the bonus that goes along with this pattern. And then here we have Natalia's rolling waves. I wanted to say whirl, but that was the other skirt. The rolling wave skirt being worn by Crystal. And it comes in a nice variety of sizes. And there is an elastic waistband on this. So you'll see here Crystal is wearing this. And then there's another image where Katie is wearing it. And they're wearing the same skirt. The fit is obviously going to be different. You decide. I mean, we have our, the suggestion here is that it is designed to be worn with no ease. So I would base it off of, yeah, it's designed to be worn with no ease. So you can, though, decide which, if you want to have it more with more ease, you make one that's a little bigger. If you want to have it super, like with negative ease, you can make one. I personally don't think this is a kind of skirt that would look great with negative ease because it flares, but I think it looks good with no ease, and it looks good with positive ease if you want it to be more flowy. It's got a nice little A-line to it, and of course, because it is a Natalia pattern, Natalia always gives us amazing charts and the keys to the charts. even including the different colors. And then we go down, da, 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 and we have color planning. Yay! And even a tester gallery, so you can see some of the different ways people have done some of the colors. All right, so we have this, the wave stripes are kind of, you can see they're in sets of two. So we have two purple, and then we have a white and a purple, and then this one has two blue, and then a blue and a red. And so these are all done in that way, but you could also do like, you could have done like two purple and then two white, or you could have done white, purple, whatever you want to do. Go ahead and play with your color planning. All right. And now we have the Wrap Me Up Tunisian wrap, and this is the second of my designs in this issue. And this was inspired by the yarn itself, which was just, it's from Mod Yarns, which is part of Anzula Yarn. We have a couple more comments. This was on the whirl skirt because Monique says that she loves the frill in the front of the whirl skirt. Yes, make the skirt with a cotton or silk for the summer. I think, yeah, cotton would be really nice, or maybe even a linen or bamboo would be nice in the summer. During the next sit and stitch, can we talk about ease, positive, and negative? We totally can, and that's still an article I need to write for the Crochet Foundry blog as well. If some of you follow the Crochet Foundry blog, you may have noticed that we are getting more educational articles within the Crochet Foundry blog. So when you go to crochetfoundry.com, there's a little link up there that says blog. Or you can just go to crochetfoundryblog.com, and that's the Crochet Foundry blog. And I'm getting more educational issues educational articles in there, in addition to the interviews with some of the designers, and also the yarn artist interviews. Some of the content that is, some of the articles and interviews that are in the magazine after, like, so this is January right now. So once February comes out, some of the January articles and interviews will be on the blog. But while it's still the current issue, they're only in the magazine and in the members issue, in the members area. And not all of the articles from the magazine end up on the blog. Only some of them do. All right, so if you can't get all of the article content from the magazines on the blog, only some of it, and it comes out the month afterwards. But we're getting more of the education up on the blog right now. All right, so, and the fun thing with this wrap is it can be worn in various ways. It's super long, so you can see, like, right here, the center front is the center of the wrap. So we put the center front here, wrapped it all the way around and put it on the one arm, and then wrap the other one around and put it on the other arm. Okay, and then here, it's done the same way, only this time she put the center front under her arms. Like before, it was over her arms, so it was more of a neck thing. This is the same kind of wrap where the center front starts right, the center of the wrap is right here in her center front, but under her arm, she wrapped it around under her arm, and then over to the, under her arms, across the back, over to the opposite arm to get this kind of look, which is fun. And then this is, again, it's the same way that she had it on the first time, where this is the center front. But you can also do it in the opposite, where you have, and there are some pictures of that, I guess in the other pictures, where you would have the center front on the back, and then the crossover is on the front. You have the center of the wrap on the back, and then the crossover is on the front. And again, a little color planning image. Then we have the interview that goes along the pattern on the front is the electric shock sweater. Jess Bennett did her interview for both the electric shock sweater and the right angle shawl, because she designed both of them. So this is an interview with her about those. And we always have our puzzle section. And at the end of the puzzle section, you get the answer key to the last month's puzzle section. Yarn substitutions, if you can't get a hold of the yarn that was suggested in the design, if you're allergic to the yarn that was suggested in the design, if the yarn that is suggested in the design is a very high price yarn and you need a lower price point yarn, I try to get a nice variety of price points of, I try to make sure that there's at least one yarn for everything that is most likely not something people will be allergic to. So you can see the electric shock sweater and right angle shawl were both made with a 75% merino wool, 25% nylon. Okay, and you can see that here is a suggestion that's cotton and acrylic. So if you're allergic to, if you have allergies to animal fibers, then the cotton acrylic is probably safe. And then I have availability, like paint box yarns is sold from Love Crafts, and they are based out of England. So it's, you know, although Cascade yarn does sell around lots of places. So trying to make sure that if the yarn is something that's really only available in one area, I've also given you options that are available in another area of the world. Sarah says she's made. Sarah made the whirl skirt, the long one with the ruffle, with a sport weight superwash wool. Once she got off the struggle, once she gets off the struggle bus with the waistband, it'll be so cozy. And there is a little, there are images for how to get the waistband to work together. So here we go with our yarn subs, and then the little community scrapbook, sneak peeks of next month's designs. And then I put the color planning sketches again at the very end where they're all on one page in case you just want to print out that one page. And that is the end. Now, for those of you, and here are the common abbreviations that we use. And when you get, as every single month, well, I started this in June of 24. So every issue from June of 24 moving forward, the magazine comes with 2 PDFs. The one PDF is this one that we've just gone through, and then the other PDF is a printable patterns PDF where it's got a table of contents at the front that tells you the name of each pattern, and if you click on it, it'll bounce you over to that pattern, and it just has the pattern. It has the schematic. If there's a chart, it has the chart. It has the text of the pattern, and it has the color planning sketch. The color planning sketches only started this month, but everything else, it has all of those other things in it, and it's just one pattern at a time. So if you're a person, I personally like to be able to print out my patterns so I can, like, especially if it's multicolors, I can highlight which color I'm using, maybe cross out the other, which size, multicolors, multi-sizes. So say I'm making the sand timer tunic, right? There were a lot of sizes there. I could highlight which size I'm making, maybe even cross off the sizes I'm not making. And, you know, there's sections that'll say sizes 1, 3, and 4 only, and then the other one says sizes 2, 5, and 6 only. And if I'm making size 4, I would cross off the one that says sizes 2, 5, and 6. You know, whatever you like to do, I like to print out my patterns and be able to mark them up. So that's why we have that printable pattern section. So that's why we have that second PDF for those of you who like to do that. And with that second PDF, it has the color planning sketches as well, one at the end of each pattern, and then the last page has all of them together as well. So those are, no matter how you get your magazine, if it's from the bundle, if you're a member, if you buy it as a past issue, every issue from January 24 on forward has 2 PDFs. The one is the full magazine, and the second one is the printable patterns. All right. Let's see, Monique says that she loves to print the patterns, write notes, and loves that the magazine comes with that option. Well, thank you. I always wish that magazines would come with that, so that's why I did it, because it was something I thought would be useful, and I'm really happy to hear that other people are finding it useful as well. So let's take a look at some other things. Do y'all know that the Pantone color of the year is Mocha Mousse? I'm going to pull up in a moment. I'm going to pull up and just run through some of the additional photos of the patterns. We'll run through those in a moment, but I also wanted to show you that the Pantone color of the year is the Mocha Mousse for 2025. But the color trends for winter and fall, I love these. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? I love these colors, and they all look nice. Look, they look nice with the Mocha Mousse. So While most people are not necessarily going to want to crochet in this color, I mean, some people might, but I think this color, it looks really nice in like a satin or something, right? Um, or if you get like a shiny yarn, it's nice when it's shiny. But there'll be a lot of people who might not want to, if this color is really close to your skin tone, you might not want to, crochet something that you're wearing out of this, right? I mean, but you might, who knows? It all depends. But if for whatever reason this isn't a color that you want to crochet a garment with or whatever, I love these the autumn winter 25-26 colors. They all work beautifully with the 25 color of the year, and they're such perfect color. I love these colors. They're just, I find them absolutely beautiful. And I love this deep cherry. It's just like madly in love with that deep cherry color. Like I used to make my hair this color all the time. This was like my favorite hair color. Right? So, oh, wait, what's Sarah going on about? Cracks me up so much because there's a moose in the Alan Wake 2 video game named Mocha Moose. It's it's Mocha's year. I had no idea. I love it. That's awesome. All right, so let me pull up. Where did it go? Did I close it? I think I closed my image window. I'm going to have to reopen it. Well, booger. Give me a second. Whee! Y'all get to see my organization or lack thereof. All right, I could have sworn I had opened this up, but I think I might have accidentally closed it because, I was trying to be all neat and not have a million tabs open. And I did not do well. All right, so we are going to, because it's already 12:43, do not know how that happened at all. Okay, and Susan over here, and Isabel KB says, I like the brown blended with some of the color trends. Exactly, Susan. That's it. It looks, the Mocha Mousse, it works so well with the color trends. And I think I have shared my screen in the wrong way. So let me try this again. For some, I shared the screen. I shared the tab or something. I don't know. Because right now I'm still seeing that and not here. We're going to stop this one and try this again because it didn't share the image I just pulled up. So, oh, I clicked on window instead of entire screen. Okay, now we're sharing. That's why. Normally I share the entire screen because I have multiple screens, and today I just shared the window, which is why this didn't show for you. I'm glad I noticed that. I would have been like telling you about pictures you couldn't even see, right? All right, so here are the images, more images from the magazine or from the magazine patterns. So we'll try to get through these. We have 15 minutes still. So you can just see a bunch of the different images we took for the patterns. You'll see these on our social media shares. So this was one of those times we were like, oh yeah, doing a photo shoot at noon when there's snow out is maybe, I mean, noon is never the smart time to do an outside photo shoot. I don't know where my brain was, but it's like, so much sun that it reflects off of everything. But when it's noon and there's snow on the ground, it is kind of a photographer's nightmare. So let's see. Now we have the right angle shawl. Whoa! There we go. Oh, there's going to be a bigger version of those. Don't worry. Let's see. All right, so here we have the right angle shawl along with the rolling wave skirt. And here you can see the whole right angle shawl. Remember when we were looking at the color planning sketch? It shows you where all of those various lines are. All right, so right angle shawl. I have the hiccups. Yeah, Frances was very fond of wearing it in the front, but you can also wear it in the back, whatever suits your needs. And here now we have the rolling wave skirt. So there's a couple, there we go, of the same image in various forms. Here we go, the rolling wave skirt. And this is what happens when you have, when it's made just to your, like the hips are basically your measurements. So there's not, it's no ease as opposed to positive or negative ease. And now here's Katie wearing the skirt. And so you can see that the hips are bigger. It's bigger on Katie. So there's a little bit of, there's some positive ease on Katie, which is also really cute. All right. And walking away and towards you. And now we have the sand timer tunic. And the texture in this, I mean, it's warm. It's made to be, like I said before, let's see. There's a comment. Oh, Monique says the colors in the right angle shawl look a lot like the colors in the Pantone. Yes, they do. As we said before, Joanne made this inspired by like a poncho, but as a garment, as more of a structured garment. Not incredibly structured, but a little bit more structured than a poncho. Something you can throw on before walking out of the door. And Monique is saying exactly what I'm about to say. This tunic is stunning. The texture is beautiful. I love the texture. This is the alpine stitch. Okay, right here, this is the alpine stitch, and here it's sideways, and then here it's vertical. But it gives this beautiful texture, and it's nice and warm. It is perfect for exactly what Joanne intended it for, which is you're about to go out, you throw it on as an additional piece for warmth. If you're going to be like going from out to in, like when you're running errands or whatever, and maybe you don't want to constantly be putting a coat on and off and on and off, this is great for that. If you're going to visit somebody who always keeps their house cold, do you guys know Pia Fidani from Stitches and Sticks and Scraps and Stitches? Stitches and Scraps? Oh my God, how if I totally messed up Pia's website name? It's oh my goodness. You know, Stitches and Scraps. I'm almost positive it's Stitches and Scraps. There are too many people with similar names. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, Pia always keeps her house cold. So if you're going to go visit Pia, you might want to put this on. Right? She's also actually one of our tech editors. So if you're going to go visit the tech editor, put that on first. All right, and so here we have a few more pictures of Crystal wearing the sand timer tunic, which is lovely. And the sand timer tunic was actually, though it is Joanne's design, this was actually crocheted by one of Joanne's contract crocheters. And so I love that. I love that we also, use the contract crocheters sometimes too. So that was really nice. And here we have a little dual image. Some more. A little bit of snow. We got a little snow going on over here. There was a lot of snow that day. All right. And this is a totally different way to wear this wrap. Okay. So we have it on one arm, and then we wrapped it around this way, I think. Yeah, it started here, went her back, around the neck, under this arm, and around over to the other one. There's just so many ways you can wear that. They're so much fun that way. Let's see, I think, nope, I thought that I saw another comment, but no, oh wait, no, I did. Oh, we go, oh my goodness, thank you, Sarah, for like being my brain when my brain isn't working. Stitches and Scraps, that's Pia's website. And Sarah says, we typically keep our house pretty cold, but I had to put my foot down a couple nights ago. It was a little too cold for you, Sarah. So yeah, so Sarah's going to be making the sand timer tunic just to sit at home. Here we have the leg warmers. There we go, leg warmers. So you can see how they're the same pattern. I just alternated the colors, and and this is made because I know that I found that a lot of times anything that goes up all the way to my knees, right about here where this second stripe is, it stops fitting. It doesn't get big enough on me. And I've talked to a lot of other people who are above like a traditional size 12 or 14. And I hear all the time, it doesn't fit my calves. It's too small for my calves. So this leg warmer pattern, it actually increases as it goes up higher. And so then again, also the ribbing section on the bottom, around the ankle, is smaller than the ribbing section up at the top. And what I did with the ribbing section at the top is I put in the elastic thread at the top so that it wouldn't fall down if I didn't want it to. All right, so here you go. You can see this is them pulled all the way up, and you can also scrunch them down. Here they are, kind of scrunched down a little bit. And because I put the elastic up here, you can scrunch them. You can put them at whatever height you want, and it stays there. Sarah says, oh yeah, using all the Princess and the Pea over at Sarah's house with all of the blankets. All right, more of those, more of those, more of those. There we go. And now we're on to the whirl skirt. There. All right. So this one happened to be, this model is Kyla, who is also our illustrator. And it happened to be a little bit long for her, but that was fine because then I just got to do we got to do the little Morticia Addams. I was like, it's the Morticia Addams skirt now. Obviously, when you're making this for yourself, you make it to the length that fits you. And this was the right length for the designer, and it just was a little bit long on our model. So that's fine. You just don't want to try to walk in it if it's too long. Well, actually, you probably could because of where the slit is, right? And here you can see the ruffle laid out nice and neatly. And you can see in this close-up that this is a really one of the more fuzzy yarns, which is awesome for a winter pattern. But like I said, if you're going to make this as a swimsuit cover-up, I would not be using a fuzzy yarn for a swimsuit cover-up. All right, and then we have this little guy, the Wrap Me Up Tunisian wrap. And you can see the yellow part here, it's just a big rectangle, and it's made in a Tunisian knit stitch. And then the arms are actually made with a traditional crochet. It's side to side with just back loop only. So up here we have double crochets, half doubles, singles, and then we made a little thumb hole for it as well. What you could do if you don't like that it opens almost right away, like there's a tiny bit that I sewed shut with the tail from the yellow yarn. You could sew it up a little higher, and I'm actually thinking I have some of that yellow yarn left. I'm going to sew it up to maybe like 3 or 4 inches, so that the yellow part stays closed a little longer. So you can decide how high up you want to seam that. The blue, the sleeve, you seam up the whole way, but it is sewn side to side. It is crocheted side to side. And you seam it up the whole way. And I'm going to, like I said, right here, it's only seamed up about 1 inch, but I'm going to seam it up a little higher. I think I decided I like it better that way. Love pattern that makes crafts. Yes. And Monique says, if I wanted to cover more of my stomach, is that something that could be easily adjusted in the pattern or not? Yes, in this pattern, the way the different sizes are done, because the body, the main part of the wrap is worked from basically one elbow to the other elbow, so it's a really long rectangle. I have hiccups. And the different sizes are made by how many you cast on. In this case, there were 80. So this has 80 stitches across, okay? So, and it's done in Tunisian. And I just used a straight Tunisian hook. I didn't need one of the Tunisians with the cord on it because the yarn smushes up a lot. You could start with more stitches than that. What you do is, what you want to make sure is, you actually start with the chain row. When you make Tunisian crochet, you start off with a chain, and then you first work the first row of Tunisian crochet into the chain, right? So I made the chain with the sleeve yarn. And I made the chain for this one, I believe, was like 40 chains. It's half as many basically as the Tunisian is. And then what I did was I inserted my Tunisian hook into like the front loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then into the back loop, yarn over and pull up a loop. So for every chain that I made, I ended up making 2 Tunisian stitches. If you want this to be wider, so it'll cover more of your body, so that this section, I'm pointing with my fingers instead of my mouse. If you want this section, like from here to here, to be wider, you would want to make more Tunisian stitches. If you don't want to mess with the size of the sleeve, but you do want this to be wider, you start with the correct number of stitches made with the sleeve yarn, however many chains it tells you, 40, 38, whatever. And then you go, you insert in the front, yarn over, pull up a loop, insert in the back, yarn over, pull up a loop. And if you want more, then just every once in a while, you can go back in the front. You go front, pull up a loop, back, pull up a loop, and then go back in the front and pull up one more loop. Do your math. So you have a gauge, and if it's 80 stitches makes 18 inches, and you want, 3 more inches, then just do your math, figure out how many stitches are in a gauge, and add that many more loops onto your hook. All right. And if you have a question with that, if you need help with the math, you can ask in the Crochet Foundry Makes group on Facebook. You can email at support@crochetfoundry.com, or the best way is to come to one of our live sit and stitches, and we will help you right then and there while you're doing it. So if you start to do it, you think you have it, and you start and you didn't actually have it, we're right there. Okay. And so we can help you out right then and there, make sure you're getting it right, and then you're going to succeed. So that's always a great way to do that. But you can see here, Monique, you were asking, it is pretty tall, okay? This is nice and tall. When she wore it and we put it stretched out side to side, it covered a decent amount of her. But yes, if you want to be able to make it even wider, that is easy to do. Obviously, you make it wider, you're going to use more yarn. And the way that the length is determined is by you go till it's the length that you want. And so what I've done in the pattern, when you figure out how much yarn you need, is it tells you for each size, which is done by, again, this width. So if this is 18 inches on this size, it tells you for every 4 inches you crochet, you need X amount of yarn. So you can figure out how long you want the main body to be, and then do the math to figure out how much yarn you need. And so if you're going to make yours 20 inches long, then you want to find the one that says it's made for 20 inches. It's going to come out 20 inches long, and do the math that way. I always just make sure I have extra yarn. And this is Mod Yarn. Bananas is the name of the color. Loop de Loop yarn. And you don't realize, like, it's a very thin, it's like a fingering weight yarn, but I did it on, I think, a size 10 Tunisian hook, and it came out just warm and fluffy. And I had to make sure I had really good light. Okay. So I had like a little crafter's light that I had on, so I could always see my stitches. But as long as I had light, I could see the stitches, because you needed to be able to like see the light to tell the difference between the fuzz and the yarn. And I'm really, this looks like this is the inside of the Tunisian, but the thing is, it doesn't really matter. It's a Tunisian knit stitch, so one side looks kind of like a knit and one side looks kind of like a purl. This happens to be the back, but it still looks awesome. It doesn't really matter. Monique loves this one, and this is now the second pattern she's going to make. Monique, you're making both of the patterns I designed in this issue. I think this is the second issue that has designs of mine in it. Yeah, and I think, is that my last? No, it's not my last image. That's me wearing it. And here we have Frances again. I love this image. Isn't she beautiful? And this is just like, she needs to keep this image forever and frame it. It's just so, so lovely. Yeah, and that's almost the Mocha Moose. But you can see what I was saying about how that mocha mousse color, it's like it's a great color that goes with other colors really, really well. So, oh, and here we have, this is where I actually have the cross going across the front instead of across the back. And here we have the cross. Again, I think again the cross is going across the front on this. You can't tell that though because it's here it is on the back, all nice and drapey across her back. There we have again, looking cute. Awesome. I think that is the last one. So, all right. Let's see. Go over here. So, yep, here we have the main website again, and it is 102. Talk about timing. Nice. Let's see. We have a couple. It kind of some of this beautiful cheek. Yes, I know. She's just very, very, just so pretty. I love I'm very, very happy with our new models. Not only are they lovely, lovely people, but they're also wonderful models. They can do the attitude look, right? And they're both very, very beautiful, very confident, and yeah, and they just make everything look stunning. So good models are very important, right? Um, So there you go. And remember, here is where you can find our magazine. Here's where you can find our indie patterns. Here is where you can learn more about us, including how to submit a design to Crochet Foundry, how to submit to become a person who has some of these indie patterns. Okay, so like these are patterns that are by different designers, and so if you were to buy, this pattern by Hortense would get most of the money because these are the majority of the purchase prices for these patterns do go to the actual independent designers. So if you want to have your patterns for sale on Crochet Foundry, that's what the submit a pattern is for. If you want to have your designs in Crochet Foundry magazine, that's what submit a design is for. Frequently asked questions. This will take you to our blog. This tells you more about our membership, the members area, become a member. The designer area you can only get into if you are a designer. See, I'm not logged in, so it won't let me in. This content is for current Crochet Foundry designers only. If you're a Crochet Foundry designer, please log in. But oh, okay. Huh. I know where I made that mistake, and I will go back and fix it. That's so funny. That still has the February. What just happened? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. That was a really weird thing. All right. So let's see. We'll go back to about our community. So here we'll go back to the main blog, and here we have the community where you can read about the community. You can learn about crochet alongs, which we really need to get started again. I need to get those going. Lunch with the Foundries, which is what this is, and our sit and stitches, which again, that is where you can find all the times, and you can go ahead. If I were you, like if you were interested in any of these that you think you might go ahead and register. I don't even look to see how many people register. The point of registering is that it will send you an email to remind you. It'll give you the link, and it will also, because it's through Zoom, when you set up a Zoom meeting as something with a register, you're able to then add it to your computer calendar. So if you use the Google Calendar, there's a couple different kinds of calendars that are any of those calendars that are compatible with Zoom. When you register, you can set it up so it'll be on your online calendar. And I know a lot of people use that. So I do that register so that you can have that compatibility. So it just registering gets it so that you can sync it with your calendar and so that you get the reminders. I do not keep those emails. I do not use them for anything. Registering for the Sit and Stitch does not register you for the newsletter. So if you want to get the newsletter, registering for the Sit and Stitch won't do it, because I don't make those things do anything other than what I tell you they're going to do. If you want to register for the newsletter and you don't have it, you can just go to the main Crochet Foundry page, just crochetfoundry.com, and scroll a little bit, and there is right there. All right. So mine, for some reason, always defaults to putting my email address in there. But yeah, it's right there. You can go ahead and register for the newsletter. You don't get a ton from us. You get a newsletter every Saturday. Occasionally, I'll send out a special newsletter if there's something I want to let you know. And then you get a newsletter usually 4 hours before a Sit and Stitch. I send out a newsletter that says, 4 hours until the next Sit and Stitch. I have the hiccups. So you'll get a newsletter that says 4 hours until the next Sit and Stitch. It's just a reminder. So that's it, 2 a week, the 4 hours before the next Sit and Stitch, and then every Saturday. And every once in a while, there'll be a special newsletter that'll come out, but not all that often. So they happen enough to keep you in the know, but not so often that if you don't check your email every single day, your email has been overrun with newsletters. All right. So that is where we are at this moment. Yeah, I think we are good to go. So it was wonderful seeing everybody. Thank you for stopping by. And I will see you all again next week. And next week, our Sit and Stitch is at, we already had today's. It was before this. Next week, our Sit and Stitch will be from 6 to 8 Eastern time. All right. So I will see you at noon Eastern again next week here, and then from 6 to 8 on Zoom for our Sit and Stitch. And as always, if you have any questions, if you need to email us, you can email us at support@crochetfoundry.com. And you can always come over to the Crochet Foundry Makes Facebook group. It's easier to just go to Facebook and type in Crochet Foundry Makes. It's a Facebook group. And we are there to help you out as well. All right. Have a wonderful day. I hope your New Year's is starting out amazing. And I hope you enjoy the new additions to Crochet Foundry, where we started adding in the color planning sketches. And there will be, within this next week, some fun other announcements probably coming as well. So I will see you all around, and have a great week and a wonderful New Year. Bye.